Admiral Cole, we're picking up more Borg signatures, came the voice of his tactical officer. The cube is... It's not alone, sir. More cubes are arriving. Cole's face hardened. This was not a simple invasion. It was an outright declaration of war. All hands brace for contact, he ordered, his voice echoing across the ship. He opened a channel to the fleet. Attention all ships. The Borg have escalated. We hold this line until the last ship. For Earth, for the Federation, do not let them pass under the continuous assault. But with a sinister, calculated movement, it advanced. Admiral Cole watched with a mix of frustration and dread as the cube pressed forward, his orders growing more frantic. Another wave of Borg vessels emerged, each jumping into the system like clockwork, their formation perfectly coordinated. Cole's eyes widened as he saw the tactical screen fill with more green signatures than his sensors could even register. Borg spheres, diamonds, and yet another cube materialized. There would be no end to them, and for the first time in his career, he felt the weight of despair. The Borg Collective was bringing its full might to bear on Earth. In the midst of the chaos, Cole's comm officer turned to him, pale with shock. "Admiral, we're getting a transmission. It's coming from within the cube." The bridge fell silent. Cole gestured for the officer to patch it through. The comm screen flickered, static hissing as the Borg's image sharpened. A cold mechanical voice filled the bridge, its tone devoid of emotion. "We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Your resistance is futile." But as the transmission cut out, a chilling silence fell over the fleet. Admiral Cole's gaze remained locked on the screen, knowing that the odds were stacked against them. Just as he was about to give the order to fall back and regroup, a faint signal blinked on the edge of their tactical display. At first, it looked like another wave of Borg ships jumping in, but then he saw the familiar Federation transponders lighting up the map. "Sir, incoming Federation signatures!" the tactical officer exclaimed, his voice rising with sudden hope. It's the 7th Fleet, multiple Sovereign-class vessels, along with support from Galaxy and Akira-classes. Cole's eyes widened in disbelief as the screen flooded with new signals, each representing reinforcements from across the sector. At the front of this new formation was a ship with a familiar designation, the U.S.S. Enterprise, flanked by an array of other battle-ready vessels that had answered Earth's call in its hour of need. The comm channel crackled, and the confident voice of Captain Picard came through, a tone that brought a swell of hope to every bridge officer within earshot. "Admiral Cole, this is the Enterprise. We're here to assist. Let's push these Borg back together." A wave of relief and determination washed over Cole. "Enterprise, you're just in time. Form up alongside the Bozeman. We're going to drive a wedge right through that cube's defenses." The fleet surged forward, the newly arrived starships joining formation with the remaining defenders. Phasers and torpedoes lit up the void as the reinforced Federation fleet moved in coordinated strikes, targeting the cube's critical points with a relentless barrage. The Borg, initially taken aback by the sudden influx of reinforcements, began to falter, their tight formation breaking as they struggled to adapt to the reinvigorated assault. With a decisive burst, the Enterprise led a spearhead straight toward the cube, its powerful phaser arrays carving through the massive vessel's hull. The cube shuddered, pieces of its structure collapsing under the combined firepower of the fleet. Just as victory seemed within reach, another alert sounded. The Borg Cube, damaged but still operational, emitted a series of high-frequency signals. Across the fleet, screens blinked as the Borg recalibrated, adapting to the new tactics. Captain Picard's voice came over the comm again, steady as ever. "Admiral Cole, they're regrouping. Prepare to counter." Cole's heart beat with renewed vigor. Earth was still in danger, but now the Federation had a fighting chance. As the fleet braced for the next wave, each captain and crew knew they weren't alone in this fight. And as the Bozeman and Enterprise surged forward, side by side, Earth's defenders held their line, ready to turn the tide of the battle. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, but for the first time, victory felt possible.